Hello guys, sorry about the delay. We can get started right away now. We've got DBG versus Pain Intended team number 2. So we'll see how it goes. DBG are our resident community PvP guild. I think they're the only one that is registered as a full PvP guild, so should be interesting. So we've got Pain Intended on red and DBG on blue. DBG have gone straight for the cross push. They're looking for a 2-home cap. All the Ellies are going mid. So we'll have our first 2-on-2 fight.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
We got our first creature kill and DBG stole it. Good job by DBG there, stealing the. So they're giving them a 35-point lead, and they got a home point pretty well wrapped up. We had a quick kill by LaCrisp there, so we've got a big fight going on in mid, and DBG have capped both home points, so they are storming that lead ahead.
Just like that, blue team takes a capture point.
And there we go. DBG are keeping that point neutralised in mid. We got a 2v1 fight going on at mine. We've got the engineer and Ellie pushing on to Spirit Ranger. Spirit Ranger's doing a good job keeping that point at least neutralised. And DBG looks to have capped mid quite happily there. But Pain Intended are definitely pushing for their home node. Get some points on the board. That is some insane damage from DBG's Thief there. DBG look like they've capped mine as well. Pain Intended now pushing into mid. Guardian, it is going to be very difficult to push after that point, but it is currently 2v1. And DBG got another creature kill, pushing their lead even further ahead. Big fight going on in mine as well. These teams are spreading out really well, keeping those points. Just makes it very difficult to keep up with the action, just because we've got 2 points going on. Looks like Pain Intended are finally getting that pressure on the mine, and we should see them get it about halfway capped for the moment. DBG are keeping the pressure on at mid, keeping that secure for the moment, and Pain Intended have got the advantage at the moment, 2v1, but both of Pain Intended are very low at the moment. They need to get some heals on themselves. Crisp is down, and we'll see him be stomped, giving Pain Intended their first capture point of the day. And we've got the warrior capping, stealth capping, got a neutralise off, and they have managed to, if he can keep on that point for long enough, he should start pulling back that lead. At the moment, mid seems to be pretty well wrapped up for DBG, but Pain Intended are definitely spreading out very well, getting those points back very slowly, and DBG just letting PI bleed out there. Everyone loves to do it, and Ido has finished off PI's warrior and is now capping home back. PI is keeping their home point pretty well secured. A lot of pressure coming onto him still, but everyone's moving in for that point. I think DBG want to get that 3 cap back. They are definitely pushing PI at the moment. That's what you get for having a PvP guild. They are pushing into pushing into PI really hard. Unfortunately, their PI's engineer went down, but they're keeping that point for themselves at the moment and managed to get back some of their points by killing Svania there. Still got that big fight going on. Mine has just been neutralised by DBG, but everyone's pushing numbers into that home point. It's very nice to see a home point fight. Too many times we have a mid fight, and they tend to be the common. And it looks like DBG may be keeping this point neutral for now, gradually ticking those points ahead. Got a 2v1 going on in mid, but DBG have got support coming in, and that Guardian's not going to go down quickly. PI now have gone from a 2v1 to a 3v2. Looks like they're not going to be having a good time in mid at the moment. Lots of pressure coming up from DBG, and all those buffs running, keeping themselves up, keeping themselves going pretty well. DBG have now got 3-point cap again. Warrior going on a roam, getting that stealth cap in there, getting some points back. But DBG have kept mid this whole game, no issues. And because of keeping that pressure onto their home, Pain Intended's home point, it just caused them not to be able to get out and get the damage that they needed to. Got a long fight going on there, but PI definitely keeping that one neutral for now. Pushing pressure onto mid, getting that point nearly fully neutralised. If they can get that off, they may have an advantage. But one's down. And there we go. PI's Warrior's gone down, and Ilo's going to be finishing him off pretty quickly. That mind pressure has been up all game. They've been keeping pressure on each other's home points, keeping them spread out. And there we go. DBG have capped mine, but he's gone down. Looks like he's going to get finished off. Blue team captured home, getting that tick point up, and finally killed the forest creature for a relatively comfortable win. Great pressure on there by DBG for the home point. Just kept PI on the back foot. So well played both teams, and that is a victory for DBG. So we're moving on to our next game, which is Legacy of the Foefire. Personally, my favourite map for competition PvP, so we'll get both teams to join up, and then we can get this game underway. Just waiting for final members to join up both teams, and then we can get started. Waiting for PI to get their final man onto their team, and then we will be good to go. Can you give him a poke? May have a bit of a loading issue here, but hopefully we'll get the game running as soon as possible. Right, just waiting for PI's final number to join up.
The match starts soon.
There we go, and we will begin
Last chance to nail down.
with a split again. That midpoint in Graveyard, if it's captured, is going to be very difficult for Pain Intended to get back, especially with the way that DBG kept mid in the last map.
Hold on to your points. Seize there.
So see how we go for a split. We've got Ida going straight for Waterfall, and we've got a 2-2-1 split by DBG against the 4-1 split of Pain Intended. Pain Intended definitely know that they've got to keep that middle ground at least neutralised. So they've pushed straight in, and we've got LaCrisp and we got Ranger and NG fighting on Pain Intended's home point. So, and Ido's ventured in to give his team a little bit of help in mid. Those Condis flying out at the moment from PI, putting the pressure on. But it looks like DBG have capped 2 points already. So PI managed have lost their home point, and they are spreading out now to try and cap it back. As long as they can keep that midpoint neutralised, they're in for a chance. But DBG are just putting so much pressure out, so much organisation coming out from DBG here. 3-on-1 in mid, just picking a target and taking it down fast. PI doing a very good job there. Ellie keeping himself alive as long as possible. Keep that point neutralised as long as possible for his team to get back. PI just caught back pot carry, but unfortunately PI didn't quite make it back into mid in time. And now DBG have got the advantage of having that huge space to play in, meaning that keeping the pressure on them is going to be very difficult. We got a Necro versus Necro going on at Waterfall at the moment. It's going to be a long fight. Both players keeping their health up pretty well. And we've got Engineer versus Spirit Ranger. Spirit Ranger's dancing around, just keeping himself out of those nades and out of those bombs. Doing a great job there. Putting the pressure on and keeping himself alive. Hardly being touched by the Engineer. Really good job there. We've still got DBG taking on 2 Ellies from Pain Intended in mid. Looks like a bit of a stalemate at the moment, although they are putting the pressure on DBG's Ellie, getting him low, but he's being an Ellie, he's just powered his health back up, keeping the pressure on, putting the pressure on the right targets at the right time. DBG went down and have now capped Quarry, giving them another 2-point cap. A long drawn out fight there from the 2 Necros, and it looks like PI is going to go down, but Ido's not in the clear yet. He's very low health. He's still got a lot of fight going on in mid. Lots of pressure coming out from both teams. It looks like a 3v1 for Pain Intended in mid at the moment. They're doing a really good job. Unfortunately, with all the time taken to get back, they can't keep it neutralised, and they just can't get enough pressure out to take out 3 DBG with their support. Now it's a 2-on-1. 2-on-1, and Pain Intended have got about that quarry. We've still got a Lord push potential from either DBG or Pain Intended to try and get rid of that deficit, but that damage from DBG's Steve there, great stun by Pain Intended, but fortunately he does get the stump off, not quite enough to keep his teammate alive. Go back to mid. Looks like Pain Intended are finding it very difficult to move DBG off that midpoint. waiting for support coming in, just pain intended, sitting outside the circle. And we're back to a Necro on Necro fight. Two macros pretty evenly matched at the moment. So, and DBG have managed to cap back that Corey, keeping that pressure on pain intended's home point is definitely giving them the advantage. They're just putting enough pressure in to keep pain intended going back and keeping that point in their favour, meaning they are now well over 250 points ahead. DBG holding that mid ground. Unfortunately, Engineer hasn't got enough AoE to cover the entire of that point, giving DBG a huge advantage of giving him being able to move around. Again, Ido's managed to win in the Necro versus Necro, but pain intended doing a great job keeping that pressure up on mid. They've managed to get it about halfway capped at the moment, and there we go. Pain intended have got that down, but in comes DBG again, just getting a nice neutralise off, and again we're back to square one with the graveyard, and we're going to be there all day as both teams gradually push around the ticks. PI having a real issue dealing with that dancing ranger, keeping himself alive really well, keeping himself up against the pressure of two pretty bursty Ellies, and DBG have managed to cap mid back again. If PI can't get back to the middle point, DBG are going to get that point, and pain intended are going to really struggle to cap that point back. They're all pushing to keep their home point safe, and DBG's down for the count. Now PI are bunkering their home point. They don't want to lose that again, but trying to spread them out to at least put some pressure into the fight. But it looks like DBG are going to take this one 300 plus points ahead. Looks like DBG getting that cap off at the beginning, and PI find it very difficult to get a graveyard back. Great job by both teams putting the pressure up on all those points. And it looks like Ido might go down here. Ignoring mid now, PI pushing for the two side points, but it's a little bit too late. Only a few more ticks, and that will be second game to DBG, making it a 2 out of 3 victory. Well played to both teams. Great job by both teams, so that will be another point to DBG. Just switch back. So we've had a great opening game. Opening games for the Rough Community Tournament. Same time tomorrow, we'll have Pain Intended's Team 1 versus Pain Intended's Team 2, followed by DBG versus Hero. So hopefully see you all again tomorrow at the same time. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully we'll have another commentator with me tomorrow. I do feel like I've been talking for ages, and I feel that it was lacking a little bit of input from another person. So I will see you all tomorrow. Thanks for watching.